Hello everyone, welcome to the Oracle of the Central Sun. I am Michelle. This channel is about spirituality. I love to give guidance. I work with Hellenistic astrology and with the tarot and the I Ching. So first of all, apologies. I'm house sitting looking after two beautiful cats at the moment. And the pool company told me that the pool pump is only on between like 9 and 2 during the day, and I've waited and waited now for this pump to stop and it's still going. So you're probably going to hear this gurgling sound in the background. It is also unbelievably hot at the moment, so I've got the fan going. So apologies if you're hearing strange noises in the background. I do my best to do these videos under the best of circumstances, and I can't always manage to do that. So anyway, on to the astrology. I wanted to make a video today about Jupiter turning direct. Jupiter has now been retrograde in the sign of Cancer since the 11th of November, and it is going to turn direct either on the 10th or 11th of March 2026, depending on your location. So you can check that out for yourself. Where I'm at, it's turning direct very, very late in the day on the 10th of March. So as with every retrograde planet, when a planet is retrograde, it is a time for us where we are reviewing things. It is a time where we are in a more inner process as opposed to outwardly busy with the symbology and the energies of this planet. And so we've now had a 4-month retrograde period of Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. And Jupiter is very at home in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Jupiter is really in sync with the moon and very at home in this place. So that also helps us a lot in terms of how we are processing things when Jupiter is traveling through the sign of Cancer. Now, in general, for the collective, the sign of Cancer is all about family. It is about our emotional connections. It is about how we share love. It is about how we relate to the feminine and feminine aspects inside ourselves. And then when it comes to Jupiter, Jupiter is all about expansion and growth. It likes to optimize things and allow things to work in the most efficient way. It is all about optimism. It is about our general philosophical views of life and also our belief systems. And it can also be about higher education and how we study and learn. And even though Jupiter is about expansion, like any planet, the symbology can either be seen as positive or negative in terms of how it shows up in our lives sometimes, because Jupiter, yes, is about growth and expansion. And because of this, when Jupiter is maybe conjunct or in a trine or square or opposition relationship to one of your personal planets like Mars or Saturn, it can also amplify and expand those more challenging aspects of our lives. So that is also something that I need you to just keep in the back of your mind. So even though Jupiter is so at home in the sign of Cancer, there are still certain instances in our personal charts where it's going to be amplifying more challenging things because of personal planet placements. So Like I said, this is all about our belief systems. It's about home and family in Cancer. It is about how we feel secure, and it's about themes of nurturing and love when Jupiter is in Cancer. It is about healing, and healing through examining our general life philosophies and belief systems. And it can be a period of healing through psychological and emotional release and expansion, and a growth in our intuition, compassion, and empathy. So all of these things can happen while Jupiter is in Cancer. Now, Jupiter spends around about exactly 1 year in a sign. It takes 12 years to go around the zodiac. And so in the middle of 2026, Jupiter is going to leave Cancer and then move into the sign of Leo. But for now, let's focus on this turning direct, because we've now, since the 11th of November, had this more reworking, revising, and a more inner experience of working with our belief systems and our philosophies and our values. And now on the 10th, 11th of March, Jupiter is moving forward. So we're going to have integration of what we have been working on, and also a new momentum when Jupiter starts moving forward. Jupiter has been stationing to turn direct, so it's been standing still at around about 15 degrees of Cancer for quite a while. So if you have planets or points in your personal chart between about 11, 12 to 18, 19 degrees of Cancer, then whatever was happening there with Jupiter would have been expanding and bringing a real point of focus to those places in your personal chart. So I drew a card for the general symbology of Jupiter now turning direct, and it speaks really directly to Jupiter, because I received the Three of Wands, which is all about opportunities and expansion, and it is about growth and new prospects. So there's something here that we are now moving forward with in a completely new direction, and new things can show up for us, and we are open to experiencing this growth and opportunities that are now coming our way. And a real blossoming can also occur when the Three of Wands shows up. So what happens now when Jupiter is actually turning direct is that whatever we have integrated and revised in terms of our belief systems, maybe parts of receiving a higher education in some way is now changing our future going forward, or just generally we've had a real inner investigation of what is really important for us in terms of these themes in the house of Cancer, like home, family, security, all of these things. So we can now really bring a whole new way of being and a whole new life philosophy to this part of our chart. Also wanted to share a card for each rising sign for the house where Jupiter is turning direct for you personally. If you don't know your rising sign, you can also listen to your sun sign. So this is now where there can be a letting go and also a sense of expansion and new opportunities arising, all happening at the same time. So for Aries rising, this Jupiter direct is happening for you in your 4th house. The 4th house is all about family, it is about your home, it is about genetics and ancestry, it can be about your physical home. And what showed up for you is exactly the same card as for this general Jupiter turning direct, and it is the 3 of Wands. So there's something here for you, Aries, in terms of your home, your family, your ancestry, that is going to feel very expansive now when Jupiter turns direct. And you're going to meet new opportunities and just a sense of well-being and growth and welcoming new things into that 4th house area of your life. And for Taurus rising, this is happening for you in your 3rd house where Jupiter is turning direct. And the 3rd house is about your mind. It is about learning. It's your way of thinking. It's about how you communicate. It can also relate to siblings and other extended family, and also about your neighborhood and those places you visit and travel to on a daily basis. And what showed up for you is a beautiful card, the 9 of Cups. So this is a card of fulfillment. There's something here for you, Taurus, in terms of the 3rd house, where you're going to find fulfillment now in the ways that you've learned with the Jupiter retrograde to communicate, how you've changed your mind and your ways of thinking, and how you can now learn in new ways. A real sense of well-being and fulfillment can show up for you as Jupiter starts moving forward again. And then for Gemini rising, Jupiter is turning direct in your 2nd house. Now, the 2nd house is usually called the money house, but it is also about other resources. It is about your skills. It's about inner resources and how you bring your skills to the world. And what showed up for you is the Devil card. And the Devil card is about releasing some sense of where you've been holding yourself back, where you have felt maybe shackled or boxed in. For you, when Jupiter starts turning direct, Gemini, you can realize that this sense of being contained and boxed in was all in your head. It is up to you to decide to drop the shackles, loosen, take off the chains, and move into a new direction. Work with the shadows, see what is there that can now really be let go of, and step into the new. And then for Cancer rising, Jupiter is of course in your 1st house. And the 1st house is all about you. It is about how you show up in the world. It is your personality. It is your psychology. It's how you dress. It's how you present yourself to the world. And what showed up for Cancer rising is the 5 of Pentacles. And this card shows up when we are going through something where we maybe feel a little bit isolated, like the symbology here of being left out in the cold. And so this might feel like a bit of an uneasy transition for Cancer, because there's been a realization for you that in some places where you used to be comfortable, you don't really fit in anymore. And this can be a challenging transition space to go through, but know that even though you feel isolated in the moment, This realization will serve you to know what you need to let go, to know where you no longer fit in, and to walk away and go in the right direction and embrace the new. And then for Leo rising, this Jupiter direct is happening for you in your 12th house. The 12th house is a more liminal space. It is about the subconscious mind. It's where we connect to the psychic realms and spirituality. It is all about things more unconscious. It can also sometimes be about those places where our shadows and our unconscious belief systems trip us up. And what shows up here for Leo rising is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is all about dreams and choices. You now, Leo, you've come to a different place where you see that you actually have more choices than you thought you had before. And you can make different decisions going forward. And what is important for you, Leo, is to sharpen your discernment. A lot of things may be coming your way, and how you choose and what you choose can really bring you so much expansion going forward. And then for Virgo rising, the Jupiter direct is happening for you in your 11th house. And the 11th house is all about groups. It's about colleagues, it's about clubs and other groups of people that we belong to, in terms of recreation, sport, book clubs, those kind of things. And it's also about our hopes and dreams and our inner fulfillment. And it can also be around benefactors and people that show up to come and help and assist us in our lives. And what showed up for Virgo rising is the 10 of Wands. So there's something here for you, Virgo, where you've been through quite a long period of hard work. And this card shows up when you are close to the end. It really shows you that you've put in a lot of hard work. There may still be some burden that you need to carry right now, and it's right on time. It also tells you that you need to be discerning about what to pick up and what to put down. So this might be a choice point for you around which groups to belong to, which groups no longer serve you, and how your belief systems may have changed in terms of those groups and people that bring you fulfillment and those who don't. And decide what burdens to pick up and which burdens are no longer yours to carry. And then for a Libra rising, this Jupiter direct is happening for you in your 10th house, which is your career house and how you are seen in public. And something here has shifted for you in terms of your belief systems and your general philosophy of how you show up in your career. And Libra, you received the 7 of Cups. So you may now go into a period where in your career, a lot of choices are going to show up. And you may now have new dreams after this Jupiter retrograde in terms of what you want to pursue in your career space. And this card is asking you to be really discerning about the choices you make. Use this real intuition that you've gained while Jupiter was retrograde to make these choices in the best way possible and to allow for your dreams in your career space to come true. And for Scorpio rising, This Jupiter direct is happening for you in your 9th house. And the 9th house is a house of spirituality. It is where we connect to our belief systems. It can be a place where we relate to higher education and also how we relate to foreign cultures. This can be about travel, or it can be around relating to foreign cultures in your local town, city where you live. So for Scorpio rising, what showed up for you is the 10 of Wands. So there may have been a period for you in your spiritual life and with your belief systems where you went through quite a period that felt quite heavy. Some place where you felt like you were carrying a lot of burdens. And this card shows up when the burdens are heavy and you're almost at the end. 10 cards is, a 10 shows up when you're almost at the end of a long journey. So be discerning about which burdens you want to carry in terms of your spiritual life right now, in terms of who you relate to as teachers or being a teacher, how much time you want to share in terms of showing up as a teacher. Be discerning about not picking up too many things at once, and then that can bring a beautiful new period of real satisfaction in that 9th house in terms of your spiritual life, in terms of really relating to life and your belief systems in a beautiful new way. And then for Sagittarius rising, this falls for you, Jupiter direct in your 8th house. Now the 8th house is also a house of transition, a more liminal space. The 8th house is all about the symbology of death and rebirth. It is about inner and outer transition spaces. And it is about give and take. It is about how we share our money and our intimacy with others and finding balance in terms of give and take. And for Sagittarius, what you received here is the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is a card that can show that you've been carrying quite a heavy burden. There may have been spaces in your life where you have felt quite heavy, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in terms of what you have been going through. And the 10 card shows up when you're almost at the end of this journey. It is a time where things can still feel quite heavy. You can bring more discernment about who you want to share with, who you want to relate to, and how you share things with others. And when you bring discernment to this place and really choose very well what you say yes and what you say no to, you can really come into a beautiful new space of transformation. And then for Capricorn rising, this Jupiter direct falls for you in your 7th house. And the 7th house is about relationships and close one-on-one relationships, your romantic partner, other people that you spend one-on-one time with, and it can also be about clients. So what showed up for you, Capricorn, is the Star card. And the Star card is all about emotional balance. It is about hope. It's about inspiration, and it's also about renewal. You are the star now. You can choose for your highest well-being. You can bring your emotional balance into your new choices. And the 7 white stars above the person represents the 7 chakras. So there's a real balance here where you can bring all of yourself into your relationships now, and you can really choose to be fulfilled and bring fulfillment into your relationships going forward. And then for Aquarius rising, this Jupiter direct falls for you in your 6th house. The 6th house is the house of work. It can be a place where we are asked to work very hard. It is about our daily schedules in terms of what time we do what, how often we do certain things during the week. And it is also about schedules in terms of how we look after our health. And generally, it's about our physical and mental health. So for Aquarius rising, what showed up for you is the 5 of Pentacles. So there may be a place for you in terms of your workspace or your personal health, or how you run your life in terms of scheduling on a daily basis, where you feel quite removed from how other people are doing things around you. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. This just means that while Jupiter was retrograde, you had a real time of integration. And even though right now you may feel a bit isolated in terms of you knowing what your needs are and knowing that there are certain things that you need to walk away from in order to look after yourself. This is a beautiful thing to know. It's always really great to know what to say no to, what to walk away from, and then step into new things. And then for Pisces rising, the Jupiter direct is happening for you in your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of joy. It is that place where we work with our hobbies and general things that bring us joy and fulfillment. It is the house where we do creative things like art. It is the house of children. And it is also the house of romance. So for Pisces rising, what showed up for you is the Wheel of Fortune, which means that a brand new day can arise for you. The Wheel of Fortune shows up when there is a complete turnaround in some part of your life. So there can be such a beautiful opening for you, Pisces. Jupiter is also your ruler. So open up to change, open up to a brand new day, to life showing up in a brand new way. Open up to having more joy and fulfillment in terms of the 5th house things, more creativity. This is truly, truly possible for you with this Wheel of Fortune showing up. And know that you have all of what you need inside of you to make this happen. So that is what I wanted to share for this video. I would love to hear from you. Let me know how you have experienced this Jupiter retrograde between November and March. And also the shifts that you are feeling inside yourself with Jupiter now turning direct. Connect to me on social media. I will leave all the links below. I am currently offering 2 special things. My monthly moon cycle wisdom group, where I take you through the entire month. We connect with the moon cycle, you get personal guidance. It really is a month of guidance via WhatsApp. It is amazing value. It's only 550 Rand for the month. And it's a beautiful journey that you take with some beautiful other people and personal guidance from me. The other thing I'm offering right now is a deep dive into your personal Venus. Understanding Venus can bring us so much empowerment in our lives, because Venus is that archetype of our relationships, of our creativity, of how we relate to money. So if we understand Venus in our charts, it just brings so much depth and empowerment and knowing how to work with your own energy. So I will leave the details to that special also below. You get 2 private sessions in terms of that special with me in understanding your personal Venus in your chart. Please follow, subscribe to this channel if you listen to me but you haven't yet subscribed. It really helps my channel and my business to grow. I love to hear from you, and I love sharing the astrology and tarot wisdom with you. I will see you again next time.